What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back, and today we will be counting down the top 10 most expensive graded cards from the newest Pokemon card set, Scarlet and Violet 151. This will be the first time in the Scarlet and Violet series I'm actually able to do a top 10 most expensive graded card video, because the Scarlet and Violet base set, Paldea Evolved, and even Obsidian Flames, people really weren't chomping at the bit to get their cards graded, at least enough to make a top 10 video. So this Scarlet and Violet 151 set is super popular. People have already got their cards back from grading, so we'll be reviewing the top 10 most expensive graded cards that have sold thus far. Folks, if you love Pokemon cards, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to be a subscriber to this channel. I'm trying to get to 30,000 subs. That would be amazing. And as I always say, folks, with these newly released sets, the prices of these graded cards you're about to see probably won't stick. I think a majority of them will probably decrease by the time you watch this video months from now or years from now. The prices will be different. But let's check out what these cards cost straight out of the graded market, starting off with the number 10 most expensive card that has sold thus far. It is the Giovanni's Charisma, Giovanni's Riz, that in PSA 10 has sold most recently for $108. Now, unlike most modern sets, this 151 set doesn't have nearly as many trainer cards. I believe you got Giovanni, you got Erica. So this is an awesome illustration of Giovanni with his pet Persian. You gotta love it. This is the number 10 most expensive graded card thus far. Speaking of trainer cards, the number 9 most expensive graded card sold thus far is this Erica's Invitation Ultra Rare card that is sold as a PSA 10 for $162.50. Now, it's worth noting that the special illustration rare has yet to sell. We have one coming through an auction probably by next week, so we'll review that in the auction recap. But as of right now, this is the number 9 most expensive graded card that has sold. Coming in number 8, we have our first Pokemon on the list. It is this Alakazam EX special illustration rare that in PSA 10 has sold recently in auction for about $205 US. Alakazam, one of my favorite psychic Pokemon. I love what he's doing here in this illustration. It's got a lot of character to it. It's the number 8 most expensive overall. Coming in number 7, we have one of the big three. It is this Venusaur EX special illustration rare that has most recently sold in auction for about $205.99 as a PSA 10. And I gotta be honest with you folks, I really don't like this card. Compared to like the Blastoise EX or that Alakazam EX, this one here just I'm not feeling it. What do you all think about this card? Nonetheless, it is the number 7 most expensive graded card in the 151 set. Coming in number 6, we have this gold Mew EX hyper rare card that in PSA 10 has sold recently for $237.50. These gold hyper rare cards don't typically sell for insane amounts of money, but when you got a Charizard or like a Mew on it, they sell for a bit more. This is the number 6 most expensive card on the list. Coming in at number 5 is my personal favorite card in this set. It is the Zapdos EX special illustration rare that has sold recently in auction as a PSA 10 for $264.23. Now, although it is technically a Zapdos card, it has the other legendary birds in it as well, Moltres and Articuno, and I do love me some legendary birds. This Zapdos EX is the number 5 most expensive. Coming in at number 4, we have this ultra rare Charizard EX full art card in PSA 10 that was listed for a staggering $1,500, but ended up having a best offer accepted price of $350. And just like with the golden cards, these other full art ultra rare cards usually don't fetch much of a premium, unless of course it's got the Zard on it. So this is the number 4 most expensive card in the set. Getting down to the final 3, this one really surprised me, folks. It is the Wartal illustration rare in PSA 10 that has sold recently, as of like yesterday, for $480 in auction. The middle children like Wartal don't usually get a lot of love, so it's nice to see this particular card being more valuable, even though I'm pretty sure the price will not hold up. This is the number 3 most expensive card on the list. Coming in second place, we have this Blastoise EX special illustration rare as a PSA 10 sold slightly more than the Wartal at $481.85 total. And out of the Venusaur, Blastoise, and Charizard EX cards in this set, this Blastoise EX is my favorite. What do you think? This is the number 2 most expensive card in this set. Now we don't have a whole lot to go through, but there were just a couple of honorable mentions, so let's go through them here. We have this ultra rare Ninetales EX that sold as a PSA 10 for $56, and then we saw this regular Blastoise EX card, also a PSA 10, that sold for $102.50. Which brings me to the number one most expensive card in this set, and it's very likely to remain the number one most expensive. It's the Charizard EX Special Illustration Rare, that in PSA 10 has sold in auction for $638. Charizard proves time and time again that he is the king of the Pokemon. This is the number one most expensive card in the entire set. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. As we see more graded cards from this set come by, we will be covering them on the auction recaps, don't you worry. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I will catch you all in my next one.